Hi seamstress, today's video promises to be an interesting video. We shall be drafting a pattern for this awesome vintage dress. Now the vintage dress is one that is designed with a lot of gathers, and gathers, as you already know, is one way in which fullness is added to a garment. A bit of style analysis before we go forward. The style is a V-neckline dress. It has gathers under the bust, gathers at the shoulder, and gathers at the waist area. It also features a zip in one case, and you can also opt for a button in another case, as you can see from the other model wearing it. The dress is finally finished with a puff sleeve. You can either make it long sleeve or short sleeve. I'll put a link to how to draft a pattern for a puff sleeve in the description box, so do well to check it out. Now let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is to determine our under bust area. You take a measurement from your shoulder, that's the nape of your neck, down to your under bust area around your rib cage. Whatever your answer is, you then go ahead and implement it like this directly. So this is our under bust line, this is our waistline. I'll go ahead and label them. Here, this is our waistline indicated by W, and this is our under bust indicated by UB. Go ahead and rotate our dart. The dart we're going to rotate is this dart. We're going to rotate it to the shoulder area. Go ahead and take the entire measurement of our shoulder like this. Whatever our answer is, we mark, divide by 2, and then we mark it like this. Next, we'll draw a straight line to our bust points. We then go in with the scissors and slash. Then we'll slash this line as well. We've done this severally, so this should not be a problem. So the next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and rotate this piece like this. And by our rules of that rotation, this piece here goes this way. You then hold it down with the tip. Next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and cut our neckline. To do that, we're just going to go on ahead and determine how deep we want our neckline to be. So you just go in ahead with your ruler like this and draw a line that meets at your bust line. The next thing we'll do is just to go on and slash it off. We're not going to contour this particular neckline because we're going to be working with gathers, and you don't want a situation where everything is going to be too tight. If you notice from our style, the hip area is a drop down hip, which means our style line is going to go ahead and be created somewhere around the hip curve. So from the hip curve area, that's our waist to our hip curve, which in some cases it's 7 inches, for some it's 8 inches. It depends on how long your torso is. So you just go ahead with the measurements like this. That's to your hip curve. Connect with a straight line. I think I should we'll just go on ahead and separate these pieces like this. That's the under bust line, and then this new hip line. As usual, we'll label our pieces. This is 1, this here is 2, and this is 3. So we'll set 2 and 3 aside, and then we'll continue working with 1. As you have noticed, the shoulder area of our dress has gathers around it and also around the bust area. So the next thing we'll do is just to go ahead and separate these pieces. So here we're going to have 1A, and then we have 1B here. So here we go. Just trim it off. From our style, it is obvious that 1B wasn't spread. Part that was spread is 1A. So along 1A here, we're going to go ahead and create slash lines. I'm just going to go on, and then I'm just going to go ahead and create just one slash line like this. And then we'll call this piece 1C. We'll go on. So here we have 1A, 1B, and 1C. Next thing we're going to do is just to go on ahead and spread it on a brown paper. I have gone ahead and brought my brown paper. Next thing I'm going to do is to create a guide. To create the guide, I'm just going to go ahead and draw a straight line like this. So using the straight line as a guide, I'm just going to go ahead and place 1A like this. Hold it down with a tape. Next, I'll bring 1C. And then when spreading, you should please note that you're not going to spread too much. You're just going to spread between, say, 1 inch and 1.5 inch. It should not, in fact, exceed 1 inch. So from 1A here, you go on and take a measurement that is 1 inch like this. Mark, and go ahead and bring 1C and place it like this. Now at this point, there's going to be space. This space here is also for gathers. Like I said, our shoulder area is gathered. So I'll also go ahead and hold it down with a tape. For 1B, we're not going to do anything to it. We're not going to spread it. We're just going to make sure that this area here, where the bust point is, meets. Remember, this is our bust point, and we cut out the dart around the area. So we're just going to go ahead and make sure that this point here meets. Then we'll hold it down with a tape, and that's all. So we have successfully gone ahead and spread this. Next thing we're going to do is just to go ahead and cut out the unwanted parts. Here it is. We have now gone ahead and spread our upper top, which is 1. Next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and work with 2. We'll set this aside. So this here is 2. 2, you're not going to do much with 2. The only thing you're going to do is just to hold the dart around this place. That's all. You just hold the dart, and that is all. And you're not going to hold the dart now. You're going to leave the dart as it is, and then you hold it with your fabric. That is, you turn it to the wrong side. Assuming this is the wrong side, you just turn it like this, and then you stitch your dart along this way. And that's all for this part. Now for a balanced fit and for your outfit to look just like what we have on the model, I would advise that at exactly the dart area here, see, when you have sewn this dart like this, you go ahead and slash it open here, then insert a boning around this area to make it sturdy and flat. You do the same thing around the center front for the zipper. You do know, like I have said, there's a zipper in the center front. So if you're going to use a zipper in the center front, you attach a boning here at the center front as well. This is just to give it shape and to make it sturdy. In fact, I'm going to recreate this style, but I'm not going to cut the pattern for you guys to see. I'm just going to go ahead and make a video of the sewing. I want to create this style for myself. So that's for number 2. We'll set it aside as well. Now for number 3. This is number 3. Now number 3, it actually depends on your length. If you want to go for the length of what our model is wearing, that's fine. You're just going to go for your full body length. That's for your basic bodice. So I have gone ahead and erased this letter, this number here, 3. I won't be needing it. Next thing I'm going to do is just to go on ahead and take the entire measurement of my lower bodice like this. Whatever my answer is, I go ahead, divide it however I want. Now I can go ahead and divide it into 3, into 2, into 5, however I want. So I'm just going to go on ahead and measure 2 centimeters all through like this. As always, I'm going to go ahead and label my piece. So I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next thing I'll do is go on and slash the lines like this. Now that I'm done slashing, next I'm going to do is to go ahead and spread them on another paper. So this here is my brown paper. I'm going to go ahead now and spread it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to spread it vertically. I'm going to spread it horizontally. So before we place one, we're going to go ahead from the edge of our paper here and measure 1 inch like this. But I'm going to go ahead again and measure another mark. So from the tip here, we're going to measure, say, 1/2 inch or 1 inch. It depends on us. This is just a guide. So the reason why we created this particular line here is because we need a guide around our place. Remember, we cut 1, 2, 3 of our entire basic bodice, and 3 at a point we detached 3 from 2 at around the hip area, and we are meant to have a hip curve from where we detached 2 from. And to avoid a situation where you would see a hip curve around the edge, we created this line, and this space here forms a part of our pattern. So we're going to place 1 here like this, and if you notice here, there's a curve around this area, the space around this area, which is the curve I was talking about. So I'm going to hold this down with a tip, but this line here is also to serve as a guide. So you bring 1 like this, make sure that the end of 1 touches this red line and the top here touches this red line as a guide. Then you go ahead and spread like this. Now from 1, you don't need to spread it that much. You can go ahead and spread it by 2 inches. So from 1, you go ahead and measure your 2 inch like this. Next thing, you bring 2 and you make sure that 2 touches this line here as well. You place it like this and you hold it down as well. Now when you're done with this spread, you can go ahead and trim off from the edge of 5 like this, or you can go ahead and add your zipper allowance, because I didn't do that to the other pattern. That's the remaining side fronts number 2 and number 1. I am not going to do the same thing to number 3, but if you choose to do it to number 3 from here, you just go on ahead and add your zipper allowance, maybe 1 inch or 2 inches, depending on what you use as your zipper allowance. You then go ahead and connect with a straight line like this. Next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and trim off the excess, and I'll be back. So here it is. I have gone ahead and trimmed off the excess, and this is what we have here. I have gone ahead and also indicated this is the front, center front with a CF, and I've also written Z here, which means the zipper allowance. So in the end, this is what we have. This is number 3. This is number 2, like this. Number 1. So when you would have placed this number 1 on your fabric and added allowance, when you get to the stage here, you're going to pull everything together. From this part here, you're going to knot your fabric around this part here, and then you create gathered allowance to this point here, and then you pull it to create the gathers. You do the same thing for the shoulder here. You pull the fabric as well. This here remains constant. Now for 3, after you would have placed your pattern on your fabric and added the needed allowance, you then go ahead and create gather stitch here. You then pull the gather stitch to fit into this hip line here. Don't forget the zipper allowance here. Add zipper allowance here and add zipper allowance here. If however you do not want to create it with a zipper, you then go ahead and eliminate this allowance that I've added here to your front to make it the center front. To make it the zipper allowance, you go ahead and eliminate it, and that's it. I hope you find this helpful. See you in the next tutorial.